Hey guys, I know this is a bit of a up close and personal segment, but I really wanted to touch upon cost because it's a question that I get over and over again in my last two videos. So I decided to just put it in the beginning of this video. Please keep in mind that this is my personal cost for my own tattoo, and I have no idea. I'm not able to give you a quote on what your tattoo would be based on the size. Just keep that in mind. And also, please no judgment as to how much I'm spending to get my tattoos removed, okay? Thank you. First up, I'll go over the options that I was given. When I went in for my consultation, they first measured my tattoo by approximate square inch of ink. My tattoo from top to bottom measured out to be 65 square inches of ink. That's a lot of ink. And from there, I had three options and three different price points that I could have went with. One single session was $613. A single session means that they only lasered the tattoo once and that's it. My next option was a pack of 3 sessions for $1,655. My last option was unlimited sessions. They laser the tattoo until it's completely gone or until you're satisfied with the results, and that package was $4,290. Now, as I've mentioned before, my main goal was to have this tattoo faded for the most part. It was only later on down the line that I decided that I wanted the top of my tattoo to be completely gone. Because of my personal goals with my tattoo removal, I decided to go with a 3-session pack, and I decided that if I had to have more sessions after that, then I would kind of think about it and then, go from there. The person I did my consultation with was fairly sure that this was the best option for me and the most cost-effective option for me, given my goals for my tattoo removal. Now, I will say that you do not have to pay all of this up front if you don't want to. The first option they gave me was to split it exactly in 2. So I could pay half of it after my first session, and then the other half I would pay after my second session. That didn't really work for me because I didn't want to pay $1,600 over the course of basically 2 months. I could have done it, but financially for me, it didn't seem very reasonable. So what I went with instead was another option that Removery has, and they actually work with Ally Lending so that you can finance your tattoo removal. Ally has a promotion that if you pay off your balance within 12 months, all of the interest accrued throughout that time will be given back to you at the end of the 12 months. So as long as I pay off this entire $1,600 within the first 12 months, I will get all of the interest that I paid back. If we do the math, the total was $1,655, and we're gonna divide that by 12 months. So approximately I'd be paying $138 a month, which for me was super doable. It was a little less than what I was willing to spend per month. I was willing to spend about $200 per month financing it. So this is pretty comfortable for me. I'm gonna put up a picture right here of how big the tattoo actually is. It stretches from right under my armpit all the way down to my hip. So it's a really big tattoo. Sometimes it's hard to tell from just a picture, but I think from these videos, you guys will really get an idea of how big the tattoo is. I think if you're curious about getting any sort of tattoo removal done, always go in for a consultation and ask what the price is first. Do not ever feel bad about walking out if it was way more than you thought it would be, or if their options for payment don't align with what you can afford. Out of curiosity, I did ask, hey, if I have like a 1 square inch tiny tattoo, how much would that cost to get it lasered just once? And the number they gave me was $177. So I'm kind of starting to think that, maybe the more ink you're getting removed, the better deal you get. But at the same time, everyone's going to be different. You can definitely ask your own questions when you go in to get your own consultation. People were asking, I just wanted to give a really honest answer and give my exact numbers and what my options were. But please keep in mind that it really depends on the facility you go to. It depends what their payment options are, sometimes even what kind of laser they use. So just keep it all in mind, and on to the rest of the video. Okay, so today was the start of session 2, the top half of my tattoo. I think in April, I'm gonna go back and do the second half, the bottom half of session 2. And I was a little nervous today because I know the ribs for me the first time was like a real shock. And then I did the bottom half and I thought, okay, this isn't so bad. Maybe when I go back and do the ribs again, it won't be as bad. I was half right, half wrong. It was definitely more painful on the ribs than it is on my hip, but you know, I was a lot quicker to get through it this time, and I'll show you some footage.
I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of hold that there. Shift it around a little bit. Actually, what I might do is this. Probably just easier to go with the actual curves of the body. There you go. Let's start right back in here though, okay?
Okay.
Little pulse on 3. 1, 2. Beautiful. Just these dark flowers. 1, 2.
Okay, wait.
Yeah. The ribs are going to be a little bit more sensitive up here than down here for sure. Feeling them right?
Yeah, how much we got?
We got pretty much a full flower.
Okay. And then there's another one?
There's another tiny one right next to it, yeah.
Okay.
But we'll hop to it when you're ready.
Okay. I'm good.
Feeling good? Alright, 1, 2. Right on up. Beautiful.
Okay, wait.
Yeah?
Ooh. Yeah. Woo, 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 woo.
You let me know if there are any poking you, alright? On 3, 1, 2. Doing great.
Okay, wait.
Yeah?
Woo. Yeah.
Almost done that whole flower.
Oh my goodness.
Feel okay?
Yep.
On 3, 1, 2. Nice. On 3, 1, 2.
Pause.
Alright, I'm just gonna come right in over here, okay? 1, 2.
This is what we're looking at directly after the procedure. I don't know if you can tell, but a lot of parts are extremely lightened. Like, I don't think you can see in this light because the sun is kind of shining right on it, but wow. Wow. We'll see how it heals tomorrow. Usually the second day, it tends to get a little darker because the ink is settling and it's moving it out. And the initial here is kind of just a lot of redness and shock to the area. So we're gonna see. I'm really hopeful about this. It's really looking just fading so well. I can't wait to see what it looks like in about 8 weeks' time. Hi, so it's 3 days after my appointment. I really wanted to give an update the day after the appointment because the area was just so incredibly itchy and red, and I don't feel like I moisturized enough. I started with the vitamin E oil and kind of just massaging it like on the outside, kind of like this, because it was so itchy. It was nothing like the first time. Like this time it's so incredibly itchy. It was a lot more raised and the whole thing was just like so red. So here I am the third day. I'm going to show you what it looks like, and in some parts it looks really red. Other parts the redness has died down, but the itchiness has not died down at all. The fading this time is just incredible. She told me basically that she thinks my lighter lines are going to turn brown this time, which in my last tattoo video there was actually someone who commented and said that their tattoo actually started turning brown when it was almost starting to go away. So that's pretty cool. I feel like that's what's happening. So I'm just going to show you a little bit of what's going on because it's way different than the first time. Alrighty, so this one right here, I'm gonna bring it closer. This area right here is extremely extremely red right now to me. It's really hard to tell because I always film this check-in right in front of my window, so like you see a lot of good stuff. But right here is very red. It's hard to tell because we're in bright light, but if you can see, compared to these dark lines over here, I promise you, even though the lighting is a little weird, this is brown. It's like brown and red. All the fine lines are brown and red. It's extremely dry and itchy. I started out with a vitamin E oil, and then I felt like that was enough. I started doing Eucerin, and that actually stung, so that wasn't that good. So then I started with a little bit of Aquaphor on it, and that's been kind of like my tried and true, especially with like my bottom tattoo. I've been using a ton of Aquaphor on that. It just worked best for me. So I would do like the morning vitamin E oil, and then at night I would do the Aquaphor because I really just wanted to offset the dryness. I'm not sure if that really happens for anyone else, but my skin is super dry to begin with, so when it gets dry after the laser, it's just very dry. So that's what I use. Let me go get it and I'll show you. I didn't show this in my last video, so I'll show you now. This is a vitamin E oil I got. I'll link it below in case anyone is curious. And I actually found it at Walmart. I wouldn't say purchase it online because when I was looking online, I think this is like either $5 to $7 or $8. And for the same price, they were trying to sell online like a tiny stubby one for the same price, which to me just is not worth it at all. So I'm glad I went in store and found this. There was only one left. It was kind of near where the sunscreens are, and or I bet you can find it near some of the hair care sections. The Eucerin that I bought the first time, like after my very first appointment, was actually this Eucerin Advanced Repair Cream. It's not super rich like other Eucerin creams are. This is about like the standard one, but I got for very dry skin. Advanced Repair, I just want it to repair it all up. It was really good for the first tattoo appointment that I had for both the top and bottom, but I'm noticing that now that this is the second time and it feels like my skin is a little more sensitive, this is maybe lightly making me a little more itchy and a little more irritated, so I'm going a little easy on this one. And instead of that, I'm using the Aquaphor, which you can see I've hit really hard. I use this every day all the time for like everything, my hands, I get dry skin on the back of my arms and on my back and all this stuff, so I've been using this. It's not irritating me at all. Besides that, everything's been pretty good. I'm about to head on out, but I'm gonna show you guys a picture right here of what the tattoo looks like now. It's 2 weeks in right now, and the itching has really subsided, thank goodness, because that was a lot. The redness is almost all gone, and the only other part is that I have to be careful to not let the area overheat or for me to accidentally scratch it, because I noticed that once I do even just like rub it in a way that I'm scratching it, or if it gets too hot to the touch, it starts to become a little more itchy and inflamed again. So trying to keep my hands off of it, trying to just like let it do its thing and keep it really cool. I iced it once at night because I have pretty heavier blankets at night, so I just want to make sure that I'm keeping it cool, and it's been decent so far. I'm waiting for the itching to totally subside because it's really driving me nuts. Now we're going to go into some comparisons and results. So the first picture is before I had any treatments done at all. The next one is after treatment 1, after it was healed. And as you can see, it's not that much of a difference. You can see a little bit of fading, but nothing too drastic. The next one is directly after my second treatment, and you can see that it looks a little faded. For the most part, it's pretty red and very fresh. So I took a picture after 3 days to give you guys a better idea of what the tattoo looks like. You know, pretty fresh, but also still healing at the same time. You can see that it is still super red around the lines, and at this time it was really itchy. Next, we have it at the 1 week mark, and as you can see, a lot of the redness has gone away, and I can actually tell that it's fading some. Next, we see it at 4 weeks, and this can be a little bit off-putting, but I do tend to notice that the ink does kind of come back to the surface in the process of metabolizing. I don't know if that's really what's happening, but that's what seems to be happening for me after every single session. So there's a part of the healing process where I feel like it doesn't look faded anymore. But then as you can see, as the weeks go on again, by 5 and 7 weeks, you definitely see the difference from week 1 to week 7, and it's a very clear faded difference. To give a really clear and concise side by side, I'm showing you the before, so this is before any treatments, the healed session 1 and the healed session 2. As you can see, this is a drastic difference from before to session 2, and to me it's even a drastic difference between the healing of session 1 and session 2. Here's another before and after side by side to give you an idea of what it looked like before and what it looks like present day. And this is only after 2 sessions, so honestly, I really do see that it's working. And someone in the comments in one of my last videos said that watching your tattoo fade away is kind of like watching grass grow. And it's so incredibly true. You can't even tell that the tattoo's fading until you do something like this and you see it for yourself that the tattoo is really fading. So I'm really happy with the results thus far. I'm excited to show you guys the part 3 of this top half sometime soon. As always, if you have any questions or feedback, please leave it in the comment section below. I would love to answer any questions you have. And if you're really liking this series, please consider supporting me by subscribing to this channel and leaving a like on the video if you want to see more. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.